These are the tales and ramblings of two men, their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This is Monday Morning Food Truck.
Powered by Riverside.
Good morning, Skippy, and good morning, Mr. Steve Rodriguez, who is on and live right on the top of the hour with us. Good job, buddy. Sorry about the little, radio silence there for a second.
Good morning there. Good morning. I don't know where you went there. You said good morning to me and then 16 other things. I know if I should answer.
Good morning, Skippy.
Oh, hey. How are we doing today?
I'm great, thank you.
I'm glad.
Couldn't possibly be better.
Couldn't or wouldn't?
The birds are singing. The snow is melted.
Snow is mostly melted. Yeah.
I have zero snow here at my house.
I still have small piles.
I mean, there's a little patch at the bottom of the sled, but it's like that big.
Small piles.
The snow's gone.
Good.
The snow is gone. It is spring, everybody. It is meteorological spring. That was a nice view of your butt crack there, Skippy. Thank you.
Sorry.
What?
Back. Hey.
Oh, hey there. While I'm waiting for Skippy. Hello, JP on the TikTok. Thanks for hello, Skippy's dogs. For the record, my dogs have been much less annoying on this podcast in the last year than yours have. I just wanted to say that.
I don't know.
As much shit as my dogs got. There he goes again. I'm really tired of seeing your butt crack.
There's definitely no crack being shown.
Are those little hearts on your underwear? Are you wearing your Valentine's underwear?
No, they're little Reese cups, actually.
Oh.
Because sometimes it's a little chocolatey down there.
Justin says top 3 episode already. And the bar's pretty low. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, I always knew talking about my ass would definitely get you.
Yeah, it is. We're officially meteorological spring, which is awesome. So 10-day forecast and beyond looks fantastic. Normal March, a little up and down, 1-2 weeks.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to go grab my cellular phone device.
Because that's important for what we're doing.
Well, for me to log into Square, it is.
Why do you need to log into Square?
Oh, we don't talk about Square stuff? Oh, okay.
Oh, well, don't you have okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Mm-hmm. All right, Skippy.
Is that what the kids are doing now?
I don't know. I don't know what the kids are doing. Everything is very sus and skibbity.
Sus. Skippity?
Skibbity.
Skibbity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. You got it right now.
Oh.
What's it mean? I'm not positive.
Oh.
Yep. So anyways. Yeah, let's trudge on. Skippy, how was your week? So, okay. Now let's have some pre-context to your week. So we hit you said you hit 50 last week, right? You were solid 50s.
We had 2 days in the 50s.
What days were those?
Now you're gonna ask. I think it was
Wednesday, Thursday.
I think it was like Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a really cold day in the middle.
All right.
Yeah, I think it was Wednesday, Friday.
All right. So now, as we know, in especially spring and fall food trucky, I think it's more spring than it is fall. So we get a nice weather, that first nice weather day or a couple days in a row. And for us, at least, it's slow because you have lots of people doing yard work, trying to get stuff going outside. They're cleaning up from the winter. Has this been your experience so far with the cafe? Has there been any correlation to sales and weather from this last week with it being a little up and down?
Yeah, Thursday, the coldest day was our best Thursday yet.
And Thursday's been your better day.
No,
typically, right?
Absolute shit.
Oh, Thursday's been the slow day. Okay. Sorry, I had that backwards. Okay.
Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday was typically the leader.
Okay. And Wednesday was the first warm day.
Yeah, Wednesday it was slower than normal, but still hit still around the same goal as far as number of orders. Sorry, I'm pulling up stuff because I'm.
And good morning to Jason, Birdie's Blue Eye Barbecue. Welcome.
How's that Humphreys working out, bud?
I'll let you know as soon as he says.
So Thursday,
and we'll talk about that in a second, Justin, because I wanted to bring it up too.
Oh,
Lent, since we have an extra long, at least for when we start our food truck season, an extra long Lent season versus last year, where I think we only had one Lentil Friday last year because Easter was so early last year.
Yeah.
And it starts this week. So.
Does it really? Oh, good.
Yeah. Fat Tuesday tomorrow, Ash Wednesday, Wednesday. And then, yeah, your first Lentil Friday is this week. So, Justin, no, Skippy has not planned anything for Lent. Clearly. But we'll get into that.
I've thought about salmon, but that's about it.
Yep. Continue with your awesome week.
Again, the whole reports thing, I'm trying to figure this out.
I thought you were looking on your phone.
No,
well, I can
look on my phone now.
Wasn't that the whole reason you grabbed your phone?
No, I had to relog into Square on my computer.
Oh, I gotcha. That makes more sense. You needed the text message.
Son of a bitch.
I thought you were just using your phone to look at Square.
All right, so the total.
The total toes.
So we hit 155 tickets over the 5 days, Wednesday through Sunday.
Which is down how much between the last 5 days?
The previous 5 days. Oh, actually. Oh, it doesn't tell. Previous 5 days. We're at 177.
So you're only down 20 transactions.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I think what really hurt is our average sale was $33.46 the previous 5 days, and the last 5 days it was $29.66, under $30.
Okay. Next question then, since you're in Square in your reports, have you noticed a change in what's being ordered? Are you now more sandwich heavy than you were before, where it was heavier meats?
So that's a great question. I'm very glad you asked.
Thank you. I'm glad I asked too.
So
context is everything with sales numbers.
So for the week of the 26th to the 2nd, those 5 days I was open, our number one seller was still a 2-meat plate.
Okay.
Number 2 was ribs. Number 3 was a sandwich, a specific sandwich we had.
Okay.
4 was loaded mac and 5 was wings.
Okay. So those entree items are starting to sneak up a little bit.
Sandwiches are starting to sneak up. So
yeah.
I did the report. I do like Square. I think Square reports when you send them on or send them to the next or to Excel or Google Sheets or whatever you use.
Okay.
Really tell a pretty good story.
Yeah.
So for the month of February, happy March, everybody. Happy March.
Yes, happy March. The Ides of March are upon us.
Two meat plates still number 1, ribs number 2, wings number 3, pulled pork sandwich number 4, and loaded mac with brisket number 5.
Okay.
As far as gross sales go.
So yeah, you're starting to see a change then.
Yeah, I'm starting to think like I need to put wings on the freaking menu every day. But,
Well, yeah. Okay. But having a sandwich kind of get into that top 5, your loaded mac is moving up the list. So you're getting, I think you're getting more to the point of what your normal food truck sales, which was sandwiches and entrees. So I mean, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, I think, where, maybe it's a lot of new people coming to see you. And now that you have meat platters, they're kind of they can taste a little bit of everything at once. And then they'll get to the sandwiches kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah, I think that they are going piggybacking off that, and it's probably not even a piggyback, it's probably the same thing you just said, just a different way. I think people came because I am seeing a lot of return customers.
Mm-hmm.
People came, they tried the meat by themselves, and now they're trying something different. And yeah, I think that's so I downloaded yesterday because we were deader than a doorknob, deader than 4 o'clock.
Deader than 4 o'clock on a Tuesday.
I remember those days. Come on. Sorry, I clicked.
Nope, you're good. I'll get to comments while you're looking.
Please comment. I love comments.
Justin says, and then we'll get back to this. Skippy doing any smoked shrimp or salmon for Lent. And then Jason said, just got the trailer back from the shop, all custom exhaust work and a bunch of other trailer mods that I needed to get done. Firing up this week.
Oh, he mounted it to a trailer. Okay.
So, if you were any sort of real food trucker, Jason, you'd do the mods yourself and have it take 3 months.
You don't say.
Just putting it out there.
All right, so let me throw in a filter real quick. Okay, so I love throwing in filters. So I have, if you had to guess, and you already know number 1. Number 2, what would you guess my number 2 sandwich is? Because I think this might blow your mind.
Your number 2 sandwich?
Yes.
The PB&J?
No.
Oh.
The Elvis, the one with peanut butter.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah.
So the one with peanut.
I forgot you actually. Yeah.
Your Presley, my Elvis, is a number 2 sandwich. So we in the month of February we sold 77 pulled pork sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
We sold 58 Elvises.
Okay, so and I know that you have your food cost dialed in.
No, because that's another problem. That's again
Okay.
downloading all this and looking through stuff. That's another problem. Is my food cost for the month of February was absolutely horrendous.
So I was gonna say, I mean, I know for us, we make our percentages are better for sandwiches and entrees than they are for meat by the pound. I'm assuming yours are the same way because you're not doing cost times 3 or 4 on brisket or ribs. Yeah, because no one would buy them. So it actually benefits you then to sell more sandwiches. So even though you had 22 less transactions and far less sales, if you may have made closer to the same amount of money week to week. Is what I'm saying.
It was those transactions, and the difference was, I believe,
Jason says he'll never call himself a food trucker, a caterer, all the way, baby. Touche.
$1,400 in sales were just the difference between
you're doing transactions and then
the average ticket and the transactions.
Okay. Over 5 days though, right?
Correct. Both were 5 days.
So $300 a day. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But how much of that did you make up in your food cost percentage being so much lower on average? And you don't have those numbers. You don't know that. I wouldn't be able to tell you that week to week, because while I know what it costs to make each specific item, I couldn't tell you week to week to the granular level, where that hits bottom line. I just know that we're good on overall per item.
I can tell you that because I use Square Banking and they have all the reports and all that wonderful stuff set up.
Yeah.
Anytime I go to a grocery store, it rings in.
Right. Yeah, I know. But still, it's not granular to the level of.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. What I'm trying to allude to you is that when I said my food cost was horrendous, my food cost was almost according to inventory. Granted, not as granular, but it's not going to be overly different.
You're talking about your purchases. Your purchases were, higher.
My inventory. How about that?
Yep.
Inventory.
Okay.
Now, because it lumps everything into one, it could also include, if I bought metal pans or something like that. So yes, I know that there is stuff that I can take out of this. We had just under 25,000 in sales.
Okay.
For
February, right?
Yes, my inventory purchases was 11.7.
Okay.
I did find myself throwing.
What's the percentage?
40 something.
Hold on. What was the numbers?
Hold on, I got it right here.
Okay.
48.
Okay. I mean,
granted, labor was always like around 10%,
but it doesn't mean you want to run 10% high in food costs, but that's also not accurate number. So 48% isn't totally accurate, because you have a lot of that stuff is dry goods, potentially. So you still have noodles in stock at the end of the month. You still have like bags. You bought bags, or you bought whatever, aluminum pans and stuff like that. So, but yes, you still have to count those as part of your food cost. It's the cost of goods sold. So, yeah, but you still haven't done your spreadsheet of what it cost you to make your Elvis, right?
No, I did. We went over that.
Okay. So you have the bottom line cost of what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So is per item, all your per item stuff, you feel like you're comfortable with those percentages?
Outside of
outside of like brisket by the pound and stuff like that, but
yes,
there's not much you can do about that. Okay.
My problem was I was overly
you cooked too much.
I did. That was the major problem. I was throwing stuff away. So basically I had to go buy more because I threw whatever I had away, and I overindulged.
Yeah. Waste is a killer, man.
And I didn't really honestly I didn't really have that with I really don't have that with the food truck. But it's like,
but you have a better idea. You've done that long enough that you have a pretty good idea of this is what we're kind of going to go through.
Yes.
Like you're not throwing away 3 butts normally at the end of a day on a food truck, because you have a good enough feel of events.
Right now, I think I could go through 1 brisket and 1 butt on almost a daily basis and sell out.
At the cafe? Yeah.
I was throwing out a full pan of mac and cheese at the end of the day.
No, that's not too bad.
It's not, but it adds
cost-wise. Yeah.
Because a 5-pound bag is 2 full pans of mac for me. A 5-pound bag of noodles.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm throwing away a half a bag of noodles.
So for me to do 8 half pans, it cost me about 50 right now. A little over. It's like 53, I think is where I'm at.
Now, our friend Mr. Lodato did a video of how he makes mac and cheese on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
and I thought about doing that just in case I needed
Yep.
more without having to, wait the 45 minutes it takes to boil noodles.
Yep.
And so I tried it. It didn't work. I mean, it did not work.
Yep.
Having
For
having the smoker outside and walking back and forth, and it doesn't work.
so yeah, I mean, I've seen it done a couple different ways. The to order stuff where you just have a crock of cheese sauce and you have your noodles pre-done and ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just ladle the hot cheese onto the noodles and you're good to go, type of thing. I can't get the cheese sauce to hold. Really,
Yeah, I don't know what
I would consider it, but I can't. It gets weird. It gets funky. I've had it get gritty. I've had it separate on me, and that's from it being too hot. But I don't want to have to. By the time we get open, I mean, when we're lucky enough to do what we do, that we're not cooking anything to order, more or less. I don't want to have to look that hard and keep track of anything that much while we're open and doing lunch service. I don't want to have to keep checking temperature of cheese sauce to make sure it's in the range that we need it to be, because I don't care what device I'm using in my thing, the temperature controls aren't that precise.
Yeah.
So, someone just told me my mic isn't working. Thank you, Lori. Just a second. Oh, hold on. I bet you that one will be better. Go there and there. Add. Is that better? Aha. I got you back, Lori. All right. Thank you, Lori. I've only had like 10 other people come in and go on TikTok and not say anything. But thank you. Where were we?
I don't remember.
Okay. I'd asked Lori, but she couldn't hear anything going on. I took
72. I'm just going through my banking. I got a $72 payment from Facebook this month.
Oh, nice. We were talking about food costs and stuff. So
yes.
I want to circle back to that. I've been kind of going through some of Square's third-party partners and stuff. There's some interesting stuff out there, paid services that we can use. But I'm thinking I might try one or two of them just to see how they go. One of them is a live food track cost analysis based on what you're selling through Square. So you can import your sales after you load up your recipes and stuff. And you can kind of do what I did with my spreadsheet, assign values to stuff. And it will auto adjust those too, based on, because you can upload your invoices and stuff too from or your receipts from GFS and stuff. And it'll help you auto adjust everything. So you can get a fairly good idea of what your actual food cost is day to day and how your pricing is and where your risk is. So, there's some cool stuff out there, I think, that to help restaurants. Unfortunately, they're all $100 to $200 a month type services. And it's like, okay, are you going to gain back that $200 potentially, in savings? And maybe you can, I don't know, but stuff to look at though. All right, what else you got going on, Skippy?
I ordered a pallet of pellets.
A pallet of pellets.
Pallet of
All
pellets.
right. Cool.
I have to realize that when I'm a lot of other things is like, as far as like ordering things, I really have to learn how to take shipping into account.
Oh, yep.
So I'm expecting like a bag of pellets, a 40-pound bag, to be $8.50, which it was, but then shipping and liftgate service and stuff like that to get it into my storage unit. I spend $15 on a bag of pellets at Sam's. This great deal was only like $13.75.
A
Still
bag.
less. Still
So
less.
yeah, you're saving $1 a bag. How many bags are you gonna go through throughout the year?
So right now I'm going through 4 a week.
So 200 bags. I mean, you're gonna save a couple $100.
Yeah, and as long as I can remember that I have to grab them because my storage unit isn't open.
Yep.
The lock gate is only open at 6, not 5 when I get to the
Oh.
shop. So I have to get them the night before.
Yeah, and once you get that routine down, I mean, you'll be good to go. But yeah, I mean, every couple $100, I mean, helps, right?
Is that under? Do you classify that your charcoal and stuff under inventory?
I mean, it's inventoried, yes.
Or is it utilities?
I had it under a whole separate category, which was just charcoal. So
I get that, but I don't have that.
So it'd be under fuel. So utility, I mean, fuel. It's fuel.
All right, so we'll leave it under utility.
It'd be no different than if you're running natural gas to your smoker, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's a utility. It's what is required to run your cooking equipment, just like electricity is for your stuff inside, or gas. Make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
That's how I would classify it. I'm no tax expert or accounting expert, but that's where it is logically in my head.
You're doing a great job. Thank you.
You're no problem, man. Now figuring that into your daily food cost, you know, how many pellets does it take to cook a single butt?
I mean, I haven't counted them out, but we can.
You know, and there's some people that say that's the route you have to go. I think Bill Moore is probably one of those guys. Like you have to take into every minute granular thing. But for us, to do 4 pork butts doesn't take any more fuel than 1 pork butt. You know? So for me, when I figure it out, kind of, it's what's the average? So on average, we go through 20 pounds of charcoal, blah, 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 divided it amongst our average cook for the day. And that's kind of how I filter it down all the way. It's not 100% accurate, but it gives us a pretty good benchmark to go by. So yeah, was that your? So you had asked me. You sent me a message. I don't remember what day it was, but it was about dry stock.
Yeah.
Is it better to buy in bulk or as you need it? And I think you already knew the answer. It was kind of a surprising question for me.
No, here's why I asked. So if I start using Cisco because I don't want to keep driving around, and I can get their prices down where they're more reasonable than what they show on their online portal. They only do things in bulk. So like if I need, like, let's say deli papers, right? If I'm only going through a certain amount of deli papers within a certain amount of months, is it better to front it instead of just buying 1 per month?
Yeah, as long as you have the space. I mean, how many are we talking?
I don't know yet. I don't, because
okay.
Oh, as far as like how many they would send me like 10 boxes.
Oh yeah. Are you going to go through that in a year?
I hope so.
Well, reasonably expected to go through those.
Yeah.
So yeah. My only thought was if, and I'll get to your comments in just a second, Justin. I don't want to get too far removed from that conversation. Excuse me. As long as you're going to go through it, like for us, it's the season. So we buy cases of our little bags. So our little number 8 bags, 8-pound paper craft bags. A package is like 500, I think.
Yeah.
And for a case, it's 8 of those. So it's like 4,000 bags. And for us, we're going to go through the majority of them in the year. We're probably going to have a couple packages left over at the end of the year, but it's not going to go bad. They'll be just fine next year as long as, you know, there's no water leakage or whatever. Yeah. So for us, the savings on that is well worth it. And we have the shelf space. So as long as I don't have to find space for this stuff, then yeah, it's 100% worth it because the amount you're saving is, while it's small per item, so you're saving $200 on your pellets for the year. You do another 10 things that you're saving $200 over the course of a year, and now you're talking about a couple grand. So yeah, I mean, it adds up quick. And then for us, for our disposable aluminum pans, that I am 99.999% sure we're going to go to stainless steel pans. Sure, we're going to have a couple $100 upfront cost on those, $300-400. But just on the half pans alone, we're spending $2,000 a year. So we're going to have instant savings for the first year and then residual savings every year because we don't have to do it. Yes, we have to wash them. We're going to go through a little bit more soap, blah, 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 blah. It's a couple more hours of work for people, but their hours are already working. It's not like we're going to have to stay late 2 hours after we close to do dishes.
True.
They're already doing the dishes that we have. As long as we keep up on stuff, it's not going to be, those aren't super taxing to wash if you get to them right away or within a reasonable amount of time.
Oh, that's what that was. Ooh, okay, sorry.
So that's what I was, yeah, I mean, save whatever money you can whenever you can, as long as it's reasonable.
Yeah.
I know you don't have a ton of space in there, but I would 100% utilize every square inch of storage you can. Justin says it wouldn't, so back to the whole charcoal, whatever. It wouldn't count in your food cost if it's a utility. It's separate cost. If you were to count it as like oil in the fryer, then it would be part of your food cost. That's where accounting can differ. You can count it as food cost or as a utility. So that was as clear as everything we just said. So thank you.
It's clear as mud.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. So, yeah. So you had a up and down week. You have, how are you feeling about this week with the weather? We don't have as many big swings this week, I don't think.
So
We had a couple warm days, rain.
Unfortunately, we will be closed Wednesday. My wife has a surgery that I have to be. Of course, they're not going to tell me. This will lead into the next topic.
Okay.
But she has a surgery that they won't call her until tomorrow to schedule it.
Yep. For the time of day. Yep.
Yeah. Leads me in the next topic about hiring people. Anyway, how do I feel? We have our first food truck event on Saturday.
Okay.
Yes, I have people for that. It's all good.
Is the trailer ready?
Yes, trailer's ready.
Okay.
Trailer is cleaned. It's not stocked yet, but I have all the stock for it. I just need to move it from one location to the other.
Okay.
Sometimes the problem is well, you know, because you've been there, the parking lot of that place is fucking just absolutely shit.
No, okay. Have you asked, so when I was there, where your pickup truck was parked, that's like past parking lot. Is that ever full back there?
No, it's going to be used at some point or another for a outdoor dining area.
Okay. That's a weird spot for outdoor dining.
So I asked originally if we can block like 2 parking spaces off up front in the parking lot, like right up front by the building. He said, no, too much liability. And he thinks,
well, yeah, but it seems like you could park your trailer back on that back edge.
Yeah, I also parked there all week, and my front tire sunk into the dirt.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I gotta move stuff, and it's all all easily able to be moved. It's all boxes. And I have a plan for everything. I have a plan. So
is it all in your head, or did you write it down?
I even wrote it down.
Good job. Good job, Skippy.
I changed the food truck menu to simplify it. So we didn't have to like cross things off. Like since we did roadside, we offered ribs. Well, I use the same menu when we don't offer ribs. So it's like, so I took ribs off. I put drinks on there. I put just our festival stuff that we normally do just for events and not roadside.
Good job.
Create a new menu. I tried to simplify what we had on there. I took a couple sandwiches off. And I added things that were easily able to be pushed out the window. So we found out last year that the barbecue Sunday was a good seller, so we kept that. And then we threw on our version of cowboy beans, which is basically like beans, cornbread, and meat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just stuff that's easily able to be put together.
Yep.
We only have one side, one cold side, and 2 hot sides. So, and that one hot side can easily be switched into a cold side if we need to. But I think it'll be good. My person is there. I even swung free, well, not free rent, but cheap rent for this event and 2 free sweatshirts because I offered to give them a pan of pulled pork and some mac and cheese for their volunteers.
Nice.
And they gave me a $150 spot and 2 free $40 sweatshirts.
Nice. Welcome back, Draft Barbecue. I don't know if you're still there or not. And then before you get on to hiring for the shop, just want to add on, the cost of the utility is paid for by the profit of your food item made. If you count it in your food cost, it will lessen your profit. It's 2 sides of the same cart. True. But I know some super granular accounting people would say a portion of your utility would be part of your food cost, and then you would still have the utility for the building. So your heating, cooling costs, while using the same general utility, a percentage of that would be used for in your food cost numbers, is all I'm saying. So I know it'd be the same as multiple plants under the same account. So my previous employer ran multiple divisions that were all on their own accounting lines. So they would split up the propane cost or the heating electric cost inside the building between the separate divisions. So they were all paying for their own utilities essentially, just based on a percentage of what the business did. But we're right. We don't need to get that granular in our accounting yet. So just saying, there's 1,000 ways to do it. And if you want it done right, I would advise hiring a part-time tax accountant to help you, because you can probably get them pretty cheap and you don't need hours and hours and hours of billable time, probably. And then Jason says, do you have any companies that just sell packaging? We have a company called Hill and Marks that just does packaging items. $500 minimum delivery charge, like a Cisco, but packaging items. Great prices. I don't know of anybody local to Michigan.
Correct. I don't either.
My Facebook feed lately has been filled with custom deli wrappers and sandwich wrappers and stuff. Saw one that prices weren't too awful on them, but like Websterant, a lot of their bags and stuff you can customize, but to get it down to a reasonable price, you still have to order 20,000 of them, and for me that's too high.
Yeah,
I'm all for ordering in bulk, especially on things that we know will probably go through eventually. But you never know what might happen in the next year. Maybe we do a rebrand of the logo or something like that, and then we're stuck with 10,000 of these that we paid. That, and it's a $4,000 upfront cost. Jason, if you want to send us the link, if they have a website that we could check out, that'd be awesome. So, and let me forget, I need to get you the bags that I ordered. They handled bags and size.
Oh, yes.
Still. And I'm still looking for a couple more sizes that they didn't carry, but anywho.
Yeah, so everything marked inventory, I just went through and make sure everything was categorized correctly, was 11.6. And that's trips to Restaurant Depot, which means I can get Cambro containers and floor mats and garbage cans and stuff like that, but not a lot. So maybe drop 1,000 off that. I'm still at 10.6,
right?
Which is still.
Justin says their accountant is $1,000 a year, so less than $100 a month.
That's good.
Yeah, that seems very reasonable. Considering I was paying $100 a month for my Adobe Suite subscription that we were using 3 or 4 times a year, which I just canceled. And boy, did they hard sell me on a discounted price. God, it took me. So you can't cancel without going through the chat bot and then a service person. It was 20 minutes for me just to cancel.
Oh yeah.
I got 7 different prices.
Oh yeah. You ever try to cancel XM radio?
No, I've never had it.
So after a year, they bump you up from your introductory rate.
This is all I need. Yeah.
I know. They bump you up from your introductory rate of like $5 a month to $25 a month, and you threaten to cancel, and they're like, "Well, we can do it for $5 a month for the next 18 months. Would you like to keep it?" I'm like, "I'm not going to use it. How about $4 a month?" I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, the first thing they asked us is, why do you want to cancel? I said, because we just don't use it enough to justify. Well, what if it was $10 a month cheaper? It's like, no, we still don't use it enough.
Yeah. It's just...
How about I pay for it I'll do $20 every time I need to use it. How about that? Can we do that route? Can we do that pay model? Cheeseless Crust says, little late, but have you seen the newspaper sandwich wraps?
Yes. Those are really cool. I like that. I actually like those.
Yep. Yeah, I like them too. I would really like to get something logoed. I want it so bad.
No, Num Num Ninja does. We've had him on the podcast. Everything they do is logoed.
Yep.
There is not one thing they don't do that's logoed.
Yeah, and like I said, there has been a couple on Facebook that I think I might have saved. I'll check to see if I saved them and some links, but there was one that wasn't too bad. I mean, you had to order a couple thousand, which for me feels more reasonable. And I think it was up to 2 colors. So for our logo, it's perfect. Yeah, I mean, there's some deals out there. The problem is, like all this other stuff, like t-shirts coming through Facebook, like, yeah, there's some great prices, but what's the overall quality? Because we've gotten some pretty crappy shirts from discount shirt makers, that after one wash dry cycle, all the letters are all cracked and terrible, or they overcooked the screen printing afterwards. Welcome, Joker. So yeah, it makes me nervous to spend that kind of money on some of this stuff. But scared money doesn't make money. So let's go.
No, that's why, I decided to open a restaurant in my off time and just spend all the money on it. Fucking great. By the way,
so anyway,
updated food cost estimated. So I took $1,000 out as far as incidentals at restaurant supply stores.
Yeah. Non-food items. Okay.
43%.
Okay. So you're only 10% high on the high end.
It's just,
yeah. But it's a huge number. So, but you're making up for it with labor, which isn't necessarily good.
Yeah. Let's talk about labor.
Yeah.
Let's talk about labor. So the one girl I have is very good.
From the cafe.
Yes.
She works the Pam.
I think if she could work for me full time, she probably would. She doesn't sit still. She's just constantly moving. And then I have a food truck girl that does the same thing, but she has a day job, so can really only work the weekends, maybe a Friday afternoon. So I was over my cousin's house, and her dad was there. Now, her dad is a... Oh, please hold. Sorry. I don't know why that goes off.
Ice cream truck outside?
Right. So her dad's in his 60s. He door dashes, looking for a job.
Okay.
So I brought him in, explained to him what I thought he'd be doing. And then I asked him, what of everything that we've talked about, what do you think you can do? Because of course he has a heart condition. And oh boy.
Nothing. Continue.
Oh boy. Anyway, hope we get back to that. So I asked him what he thinks he can do. He's like, oh, I can do everything. Now the guy is like 6'3". Mentality. I mean, I'm not going to say he's a smart guy, but normal person, whatever. Not on the spectrum, not any mental disabilities, whatever. But he's not. He doesn't do anything fast. Everything is very, very slow.
Okay.
He talks slow. He walks slow. It's just that's what he does. And so he's gonna start on Thursday, just doing the front area for now, register, cafe area, making sure things are stocked, making sure people are getting their foods, doing the register. He's going to work for like 4 hours a day until Pam gets there. That's the best spot I think I can put him. Now, I know that he's one of those platinum door dashers. I guess they have all these levels of door dashing.
Okay.
And he'll make more door dashing. But it was very hard for him to get up those 3 steps that go into my kitchen.
Okay.
And he may have to have a heart surgery here shortly.
Is that what he said, or are you just judging by his appearances?
It's actually what he said. The joke is his ex-wife has now caused 2 massive heart attacks to 2 of her ex-husbands. And the same doctor fixed them both. Okay. So there you go. So that's where I'm at. We're getting in the food truck season where that part of my business is going to get busier.
Right. And
I was looking at labor like it was it's evil, don't get me wrong, but it's a necessary evil.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, I'm just too particular, and it's hindering me. Like, just because of how I am towards somebody and how I watch them do something, and after I told them how to do it and they still do it wrong, like, I get very frustrated easily.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my problem, not anybody else's. Like, I know that's absolutely my problem.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know the only person that cares as much about your business is you. And it's weird. I can trust the food truck to somebody else, but I'm not sure if I can trust the cafe to somebody else.
It's a step. You're making steps, Skippy, in the right direction. I hope your guy works out. I hope he doesn't die on your property.
He does. He's got insurance.
Okay. Cheeseless says, I am a professional gig worker here to answer all your questions about delivery apps.
Oh.
So, excellent. Now, are these legitimate employees? You have them in Square?
They are all in Square.
Excellent. And you got their sick time all ready to go?
Didn't that get changed? Under 10 employees?
No, there's 2 different levels. So there's an under 10 employees and an over 10 employees. You still have to give them sick time.
Well,
it's just the amount of...
I said they're all in Square. I didn't say they were on Square payroll.
Yes. So the amount of carryover is what changes. And this is just the state of Michigan. So I'm sorry for those that aren't. As of the 21st of February, all employers have to guarantee sick time. 1 hour for every 30 hours worked, with a carryover on. So if you have less than 10 employees, the carryover year to year is 40 hours, I believe. And if you have more than 10 employees, the carryover is 72 hours.
Yeah.
So there's that. And that's requirement for all employers, regardless of size. Effective on the 21st. And our tipped employee minimum wage will be at $15 gradually. I think it's going to be 4 years or 5 years, but I know it had a boost this year up to 6 or something like that. If you want to double check that, but I know that was part of the same. Jesus Crust. No, it's not different for full-time and part-time employees. So that's why they do it based on number of hours worked. So it's 1 hour for every 30 hours you work. So even if you're a part-time, you're still going to collect
sick time, just at a much slower rate. If that makes sense.
Okay, so according to
Google,
no, hold on.
Reddit. What's my
No.
favorite news source lately?
Michigan Restaurant and Lodging Association,
Okay.
effective February 21, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Michigan's minimum wage is $12.48 per hour.
Mm-hmm.
The 85% rate for minors age 16 to 17 is $10.61 per hour.
The
rate-
ageism.
The, the rate for tipped employees is $4.74 per hour.
Okay.
The training wage of $4.25 an hour for newly hired employees ages 6 to 19 of their first 90 days employment remains unchanged.
Oh my God. I didn't know that was a thing.
So
Who's hiring
as we-
6-year-olds?
16
Oh,
to 19.
I heard 6 to 19. I was like,
No.
Judas Priest.
Okay,
I mean, I
so
could use one.
as a
Smoker's hard to
result-
clean.
the changes to Michigan's minimum law wages include the following: $12.48, while maintaining the tipped wage of 38% for the rest of the year. Increase the minimum wage on January 1st, 2026, with a 40% tipped wage. Increase to 15 on 2027 with a 42% tipped wage. It continues to increase the minimum wage annually based off CPI Midwest, with the tip wage increase cap at 50%.
Okay.
So it'll never go higher than 50%.
Thank you. I knew there was a change. But so with minimum wage hitting 15, you're looking at $7.50 minimum for tipped employees.
Yes.
So this has been a big hubbub in Michigan about how many restaurants are going to close, and restaurant owners aren't going to be able to afford this dramatic change in pay this year, and all the prices are going to go up at restaurants. If restaurants, how much did it go up this year? Tipped employees? It was at $4.25, I think. So it's 50 cents an hour, I think, is all it's going up this year. Or went up. Because I think I had Pam at $4.25.
$4.74. I do not know.
Yeah, I think it was $4.25 or
No, so it was 30. So it's 38% of the minimum, whatever minimum.
Right. I don't know what that was either. But yeah, so it's going up to $4.50 or $4.75. You said.
Mhm.
So it's going up to $4.75. This is not a huge additional expense for employers. It's not great for them. I mean, they will have to make adjustments, but this is nothing to where you are adding dollars to menu items. They shouldn't be, in my opinion. They shouldn't be. I think the bigger part of that is the sick time paid, or paid sick time. I think could have an effect. Depending on how you read some of the language in there, it protects workers on no call, no shows.
Supposedly they can have 3 without being fired. 3 in a row without.
I know. I think some of that language needs to be redefined. Yeah, because that's absurd. You no call, no show one time for me, and you're done. Maybe 2, but I don't hear from you 2 days in a row on 2 consecutive shifts. You're not coming back for a third.
So
Sheila says, sorry.
Right.
Smithfield in Iowa got in trouble for 10-year-olds cleaning with their parent. It's a family-owned business.
Absolutely.
Child labor laws don't apply to family-owned businesses as long as it's your child in the business. Sorry, go ahead.
The key changes: Earned Sick Time Act.
Mm-hmm.
Beginning February 21, 2025, all employees, full-time, part-time, and seasonal, must receive 1 hour of paid sick time for every 30 hours worked, max 72 hours per year. Small businesses less than 10 employees have their own mandate. All employers, including those with paid time off policies currently in place, need to rethink their approach to leave time. Employers also need to strike policies regarding or requiring advance notice, rethink whether to or require documentation, and offer one bank of PTO, and watch out for new crafty avenues to litigation. This is from the Michigan Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, so that's so unless they changed it in the last, I mean, right before it passed, yeah, it was the carryover. So 72 hours was that larger, and then it's a separate mandate for those less than 10 employees, which, so if you already have PTO, so you give your people paid time off that matches the requirement, then you're good to go. You don't have to offer separate sick time, which is how a lot of people are getting around this. Now, the way PTO guidelines are written, I don't know if they're laws or not, but you can decline PTO time. Those aren't guaranteed days. You can't. So if you were to go to your employer one day and say, I need tomorrow off, they can say no. So I think that's where I think there's some more that needs to be done with this. Because I consider just having my people just do a PTO to kind of cover everything for them.
Yeah.
And that's my former employer. We only had one bank of time, and it was a PTO bank.
That's okay.
But we earned at a greater rate. So we went from sick and vacation time to one pool. But we still earned at the rate of both pools, and it's just all together now. But the problem was that we had, so yeah, I mean, the reason that companies did it was because people were like snow days for school and stuff. People would be out of vacation time, but they'd have all the sick time that they weren't allowed to use, or vice versa. You'd have one pool that was full of all this time, but according to the regulations or the company's policies, you couldn't use it for anything else. So whatever.
So small businesses have until October 1st to comply. That's 10 or fewer employees. New hire waiting period and requiring these employees to wait up to 120 days before using any accrued sick time.
Okay.
The front loading paid sick time as an alternative. Employers can front load 72 hours of paid sick time for immediate use each year, or $40 or 40 hours for small business, which eliminates the requirement for carryover or accrual for full-time employees.
Yeah. Does it say anything about paying out upon termination?
Blah, 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 blah. And
I think that's the other thing. PTO is payable upon termination, but sick time is not. I think. I'm not positive.
Employees exempted. I love this.
Food trucks.
Those employed by the U.S. government.
Of course.
Unpaid trainees or unpaid interns. That's right. I'm just going to hire interns.
Unpaid. I'll make a donation to their college fund.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Small businesses. How do you determine if an employer is a small business? They have 10 or fewer employees. Thank you. Once an employer employs 11 or more employees for 20 or more work weeks in the current or prior calendar year, they're no longer a small business.
Damn it. Because you could get away with it then. If your food truck season was short, like you only did summer months for festivals and stuff, and you were only open for 19 weeks.
You wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
When does an eligible employee begin to accrue sick time? October 1st. For small business, for all other, February 21st.
Yeah, ours is already in. So Chris was actually at the beginning of February. His accrual started. And Matt will start as soon as he starts working hours. So
Matt? Who's Matt?
Matt, Caleb. God, where did Matt come from?
Wow.
No, Caleb. We never had a Matt working for us. Yeah.
All right. So there we go.
All right.
Changes
Good job, Skippy.
in Michigan law.
You had a great week. Look at all that stuff you just talked about. Way to go, buddy.
I'll skip you all the time.
I posted some jobs last week.
You did post a job. I was going to steal the picture. Just put my trailer on.
Yeah, and I want to get to that too. Nick's not on, but he had commented asking if I use AI for some of the images. The answer is yes, and we can get back to that, or we can talk about it right now. So I use Canva. So our Monday morning food truck posts lately have all been in Canva using one of their image generators, AI image generators. Me and Skippy sitting in a snowy field with some flowers popping up was a 4-sentence prompt that I put in, and that's what it created. I had to have it regenerate, I don't know, probably 4 times. So it does 4 images per generation. And then you can just have it regenerate if you're not getting what we want. So there was some pretty funny ones in there. Some very less appealing images of you and I. It was just like a ball of middle with a little bobblehead on top. We look like little Buddhas in a field.
Google Ads sucks.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about your Google Ads. Let's wait until next week to
Good,
get
because
into
I don't
that.
have anything.
Okay.
I don't have anything.
How much have you spent?
$10.89.
And you get nothing for it.
No, it's not about that I got nothing. It's still like my account's still suspended.
Oh.
I submitted an
All right.
appeal. Never did anything.
I do pay for Canva, so I don't use the free version. I have whatever version is above that. I'm not 100% positive how much I'm paying for it. But from that, so the one that I did for the job posting, Skippy, can you pull that up?
Yeah.
And share the screen. That post.
Absolutely.
So for that one, the image in the forefront was what was generated. It had a whole background with AI generated food truck. And then I just did background removal. So that's another feature inside Canva for some of these. You can remove the backgrounds and just have the forefront, which is really awesome for people and stuff. And then I just overlaid that on top of the picture of our food truck at a festival and then changed the size of the people. What are you laughing at?
I just noticed the one.
You just saw the post?
This morning.
What was weird was you texted me right after I posted it. I'm like, didn't you just? And I tagged you. Like, didn't you see the post?
That's so good. You give us both more hair, though.
There's only so much I can control. Cheeseless Crest says, y'all have been very helpful in my quest for a hot dog cart catering business. I'm glad to hear that, Cheeseless. Thank you for listening.
He needs to have a hot dog competition and call it the Wiener to Wiener.
The prize could be a sword.
So
for a sword fight.
Great Lakes Barbecue Association, we do the beak to beak. And so we had our wonderful guy from Jay Craig from Outlaw Smokers craft a beak to beak trophy, and it's 2 roosters that are like facing each other. So now it's we'll get kicked off YouTube for this. So now we call it the cock to cock.
That is just the appropriate name for the animal.
So if we had a rib one, could we call it bone to bone?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I would love to be the winner of the Wiener to Wiener.
Wiener to Wiener. And then the pork, they used to have butt to butt.
Remember the butt to butt? Yeah.
Please,
anyways.
Please hold. Oh, you didn't, as I'm pulling this up, you had done a test on some cornflake chicken.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that real quick while I'm pulling this up? Because it looked freaking-tastic.
Cheeseless Crest says he's binged our podcast on Spotify for the last 3 months. Extra entertainment while delivering. I'm glad it's entertaining for everybody. I go back and listen to some of these. I can't believe people start at the beginning.
First of all, he didn't say entertaining.
Yes, he did. Extra entertainment while delivering.
Oh. Nobody else said it was entertaining. He just did.
Yeah, no one. Okay, so this chicken. If you did not see the pictures, go to the Sweet Racks Smoking Butts Facebook page. It's all right there. Basically, just did boneless, skinless chicken thighs in a buttermilk brine overnight. No, not overnight. It was 8 hours. I meant to do it overnight and forgot. So it was in there for 8 hours. Yes. So pulled those out. and then right into a corn flake crumb coating, and then into the smoker. Those are not deep fried. Those are not oven. Those are not pan fried. That's right into the smoker. It took them about 2 hours to get to where they needed to be. I did not wrap them at all, just right in. They were really good.
How many did you consume?
All of them. Not that day, but so for the sandwich, we did a hot honey drizzle on top, Duke's mayonnaise on top and bottom, and then kosher dill pickles, and it was really, really, really good. The problem that I had with the sandwich,
Right about there.
and huh?
Go ahead.
What are you circling?
I was going to assume this would be the problem because that looks a little like mushy.
No,
Okay.
so you have the moisture from it was crispy. Like I tried to do a knife scrape on it,
Yeah.
for the sound. I mean, you could kind of hear it, but the breading doesn't hold super solid onto the chicken, so it doesn't adhere to the chicken. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, the problem I had with it, so like anything when you do chicken, especially boneless, skinless, is in a dry heat atmosphere. That top layer of meat gets a little tough.
Okay.
It was the same. I thought maybe the breading would help protect it a little bit. So that top layer got a little tough, but after about an hour, it was perfect. It was a bite through perfect. I did not hot hold them at all. So they were just sitting in a pan on my stovetop, foiled.
Okay.
So I think actually them being in like our heating cabinet for a half hour covered in foil will soften that up enough. And the outside was still pretty crunchy. So it didn't get soggy. Even the next day, so out of the fridge and into the microwave, they were fine. So really, really good. I want to try them with the skin on and do the breading. So do boneless but skin on and see if that helps. But I think the skin will just get rubbery. The whole,
Unless you
chicken thigh.
You got to jacquard them or something.
Yeah.
So you did not hot hold these.
Nope. They
How
went
do
off the
you-
smoker and into a pan on with foil.
How do you believe they would be hot held?
I think they'll be fine. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do another batch. I'll probably wait till we're open. This is just going to be a special item if we run it. So yeah, we'll do it when we
That
open.
thigh take up the whole bun.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like the Meyer boneless chicken thighs because they tend to be a little bit bigger
Yeah.
than like the Costco big packages. Yeah. Can you pull up the job posting that I had?
I'm working on it. Sorry.
Got all distracted by my delicious thighs. Thank you, Cheeseless Crust. He says they look so good. Yeah. So that back picture actually obviously is the three people in front were all AI generated.
Did he just get murdered and he's walking around? Is that a black
Angie
guy?
said the same thing. It's like he just got done committing murder. All right, AI is not perfect, but it is way better than it used to be. Yeah.
I like it. So, are you having anybody prep on early morning prep from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. yet?
Cheeseless Crust said breading will come off with the skin. Used to do this at AQ Chicken in Arkansas. Thank you for the heads up. Believe it or not, I probably have all three of these filled. So I maybe I don't want to say that. I haven't interviewed these guys yet. So I had two people immediately jump on the early morning prep. So ideally we'd have two, each working 3 days. That way, days off and stuff, I can kind of move people around if needed. One guy is very much looking for a job. Like he said, I can do all 6 days, I do whatever hours you need me to do, which is awesome. But I'm gonna, yeah. And then the other guy, it's extra income for him. He's up, or I'm usually up at 3:30 anyways, or by 3:30 anyways. And then he works from home in the IT field. But used to work in a restaurant like 15 years ago. Pretty much just looking for some extra income. So those two guys look like they are strong candidates to be able to split that time. I will probably be making a decision in the next couple of days on those two. And then we had somebody inquire, one of our customers, inquire about the cashier barbecue assembly position. So,
Okay. May I ask questions about your jobs?
sure.
Okay. Let's start with early morning prep.
Yep.
Can I ask what your average pay would be? And is it always based off of experience?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm paying 25 for that position.
Okay. Okay. That's a lot more than I thought. Okay.
It's 3 a.m. to 8 a.m.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I get it.
For me, that is money well spent for those hours, and for me not to have to do it from those hours, so I can focus on other things is 100% worth it.
Now, is this only assuming that you have a building, or they come into your house and open the trailer and
This is
doing
starting in
everything?
2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't keep being on the trailer at 3:30 in the morning 6 days a week. I can't do it. My brain can't function to be able to do all the other things I need to do throughout my days with only getting 5 hours of sleep on a good night. So it has to happen.
Okay. All right. So 25, 6 hours a day,
5 hours a day.
5 hours a day. Sorry.
Yeah. So this is going to cost me about $800 a week.
Okay. Okay. Let's go down to cashier barbecue assembly. I'll start with the same thing. As far as, do they need kitchen experience?
No.
Are you paying the same
Because
amount?
are we paying them the same amount?
Yeah.
No, I'm not paying 25.
No, I'm talking about same amount. Like as far as, sorry, what amount are they starting off at the same amount no matter their experience?
Let's say no. That would be negotiable to an extent.
Okay.
But pretty much the bottom end of our scales right now for that kind of position is like 13, which I think is where I started Caleb at 2 years ago.
Now, I have to agree with Miss Susan Hans Banker. We want Pam. We want Pam. We want Pam.
We all want Pam.
Pam. Oh, this is the best job ever. Aw, Pam's great. So, all right. So that's okay. So bottom 13. Now, when you interview these people, I assume they're going to ask about tips. Do you have an idea about how much, like, are you going to talk to them about tips and like what your average collection is and maybe what your average per hour for certain people are?
Yes, we always do. That's always part of anybody we talk to about a position. But also with the understanding that they're not guaranteed, and some days, some shifts just aren't going to be that. But yeah, I mean,
how do you feel about employers taking credit card fees out of credit card tips?
Taking credit card fees,
So whenever there's going to be credit card fees that are paid whenever they do a credit card transaction, which include the
correct. Yeah.
So there is a restaurant that I came across that took basically 3% out of their
credit card tips.
Correct.
No.
I'm not saying it's good. I was just wondering what your opinion is.
Never have, never will.
Okay.
If I can't sustain that 3% on a $4 tip, we're talking 12 cents.
I completely understand. I get it. I was just asking a question.
Fucking people.
You have limited travel may be required. What
Yep.
is your idea of limited travel? Like, do you talk about mileage? Talk about where your service area is?
Yes. So
Okay.
we'll talk about our service territory and where that is.
And I guess what is limited travel like when it says may be required? Are you asking people to try to like drive with you or Chris to an event or drive themselves?
That is always an option. We give people those options.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, a lot of it depends on where they are. Their
Well,
home.
When you
Obviously, there's going to be travel required to go to.
and that's why I'm asking. You say some limited travel may be required.
Hmm.
Well,
Outside of normal commute time, yes. This is not a work from home position.
no,
So
I'm saying you're a
no,
food truck and you go all over
this-
the place.
but
Travel will be required.
Hey, what is your business address before you had the cafe?
My house.
What is your home base of operations? There you go. There is many times that Caleb drives to my house and then rides to events with us.
Does he do early morning prep?
No.
Okay, but
Nor does he want it.
and that's fine. So he rides with you, is what I'm saying, or whoever.
Sometimes, yeah. It depends on where we're going, but yes.
So, okay. I'm just trying to I was just trying to understand that because you're a food truck. So when it says limited travel may be required, it's always going to be required.
It is for any job that you're not working from home.
Absolutely. Okay. I just wondered why that would, like, you made that a thing, and I'm wondering why it was a thing because it doesn't look
Well,
like it. Needs to be.
maybe if we're driving by their house, we can pick them up on the way.
I don't see that ever happening.
I've done it with Chris. I've done it with Caleb. We've picked him up on the way.
Okay.
If we're driving by his house on the way to an event, yeah, I'll tell him, hey, be here and be ready to go at this time. There's no reason for him to drive an extra 40 minutes round trip. Just, yeah, it's silly.
Why does dependable with reliable transportation not get a star?
Because I missed it. You want me to pick apart all your fucking posts?
No, I'm asking questions about it. That's all I'm asking.
No, you're not. You're nitpicking just for the sake of nitpicking.
I was nitpicking.
Why doesn't it have a star? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Position
Do you want me to go through and pick apart all your posts?
Hold on. Position reports to roadside locations.
Yes.
How far in advance of you opening are you asking them to be there?
Caleb is on time, so at opening time, depending on what else is going on for the day.
Okay, so you want them to be there no later than whatever time you're opening for whatever event you're doing.
Yeah, I think at most Caleb's a half hour.
Okay, good. So 15 to 30 hours a week. How many of these cashier barbecue assembly people you plan on hiring?
I guess it depends on how many people want 1 day a week. That's where, I mean, kind of Rick was he lived north of Newego.
Well, that's far.
So yeah, so he did our Newego. Like I was not comfortable.
Yeah. Okay.
I was not comfortable making him drive frequently. He did a couple events down by us, and I talked to him about those ahead of time, just because I know they are far. He did some of our Allendale ones, which is still, 45-minute, probably close to an hour drive for him. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. We have so yeah, I'll spend probably a couple weeks with both those guys, making sure they're comfortable. I mean, the mac and cheese is not a concern of mine, them making that kind of stuff. My concern is with meats and stuff coming off at the proper time. So,
okay.
because it's not
like
temperature.
I like your post. Like, I like everything about it.
Okay.
I may even steal that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, it's because it's worded really, really well. It's worded really well.
Can't wait to see a chicken sandwich on your menu that's cornbread crusted.
I'm a big cornflake guy, but
no, it doesn't taste like cornflakes. It's just a crunchy bread.
Darren Worth's chicken restaurant that he has called the Ordinary Chicken, the Ghost Kitchen that he has.
Mm-hmm.
He does his. It's like half panko, half original Captain Crunch.
Oh yeah.
Like that's interesting.
Can you close this share, please?
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It just moves, so I have to look to see you. I have to look over this way, which is not where my camera, because it's on.
Hey,
It
Josh.
shifts both of us all the way over. So yeah,
How are you?
it's not great for anything.
My apologies, sir. Thank you.
No, you're good.
I do like your picture. I think it looks good, with the exception of the Black Dexter.
It's barbecue sauce.
That's blood.
Clearly, it's barbecue sauce.
The one hand you can't see is currently handing a knife. It's absolutely what's going on. And why are these people working outside your trailer?
Because they are delivering food to a customer.
It's
Clearly,
not a customer. She's wearing an apron too.
AI is not perfect,
No,
but it's
great
not
job.
too bad.
Great job. We want Pam.
So yeah,
We want Pam.
yeah, spend the first 2 weeks with them on the trailer, with a lot of focus on feels and textures that we're looking for when pulling stuff off. And yeah, I think anybody can handle mac and cheese as long as they are not trying to multitask themselves to death. Which is where Chris gets himself into problem. Like he hates making mac and cheese because he often burned the cheese sauce, because he would get going on other stuff and completely forget about it. Next thing you know, it's boiling.
Well, it's caramelizing.
Yeah. I said the whole thing is very much set up like that whole morning to where you don't have, for the most part, you can just focus on the cheese sauce. And that's really what it needs. It needs the attention. So
And
for it to be done well.
That whole morning shift is where I get lost, because it's like I go in at 5, light the smoker, prep ribs. I get done prepping ribs, and at the most, any bone-in chicken that we're doing, whether it's quarters or wings, I'm done by 5:30. I'm still waiting for that smoker to get up to 10. I mean, it's up to 10 by then, but I always put it on at 6, and then like after 6, it takes me 15, 20 minutes to get the sides ready to go, and then I'm just dead. So it's like, what do I have people do? I mean, I can put a thing together on like, I mean, I could have them cut brisket right then and there and prep it for that day, and whatever's in the warmer can be done. But it's like, I don't know what to have them do.
Yeah,
especially when you have somebody that has kitchen experience. A lot of them are lost.
Hello, this is Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Josh, this is Mike here at Train. I know you've worked with me and Greg Shoemaker with food here before.
Yes.
And we're thinking about doing a celebration, but we're not sure how we're going to do this yet.
Sounds like Josh is getting a catering request.
See if you guys
We can hear him through the microphone.
Yes. Yes, we are interested. Always for you guys.
Well, we appreciate it. I think,
This is textbook good customer service.
We're not going to have a lot of time for people going to wait in line.
Okay. Yep.
But I don't need you to prep anything yet. I just wanted to maybe have you think about this, because we're thinking of plant 2 and plant 3.
Anyway,
Or I think seriously,
for everybody that was looking
Yep.
at Josh's hiring,
plants 2 and 3
I think it's honestly, it's a really good job. I like pretty much every idea that he's got on here, so I'll probably steal it like I always do.
maybe
Come up with my own, whatever you want to call it.
Yep. Okay.
Our hope is the question I have
You
is,
can't just say, "Hey, can you send me an email with all your stuff?"
process,
Basically,
change
take
it
a phone
up
call.
where you have it all.
Which I appreciate. Takes a phone call.
Can actually
Jason, you gotta send us a picture when that smoker gets mounted. If you have not fired it up yet, I just found out that
So the problem with if you wanted to do sandwiches and stuff, are you just thinking kind of the same, like meat and a couple sides?
Well, yeah, I think the sandwiches were ones that were thinking that sandwiches could all be redone.
Josh could mute his mic.
Warm,
Right.
when we're just issuing them out.
Right.
I can't.
But I
hear
wasn't
him.
sure.
The problem is they will get really soggy
Yeah, I got you.
just from the moisture from the meat. yeah, I'm not sure how long we'd be able to hold them. But to do up 180 sandwiches ahead of time, yeah, some of them are going to be awesome.
So
Um,
they would have to ship the dish trays and then people kind of serve them on their plates, right?
Yep.
That's the best way to do it.
And I mean, really, if we could do, I mean, 2 lines to help get people through faster, probably. Yeah, it's a lot of people. It's hard to get through people that fast, I know, but
That's all through my plant manager tell them. So I think at the holiday we had like 15 minutes. It's what it took at P1 time.
okay.
And if you were to tell me, my guess is if I was in your shoes, I would rather do like 1 day.
Could you imagine doing 180 sandwiches?
Yeah, that would be
For
best. Yeah.
anybody that has done
Do you have a
180
date-ish
I
range?
don't know how you keep your buns
No.
Okay.
Like as soon as,
from just absolutely disintegrating them.
Okay.
I almost thought about doing it upside down because it seems like the top bun is definitely
Okay.
better than the bottom bun. I know that sounds absolutely stupid to say, but
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to do if you wanted to do soon, yeah, I'll need to know pretty soon. We're gearing up for our regular normal season, so yeah, as soon as you can let me know.
that would be like now.
If you're like next week, yeah, and the next day or two would be ideal.
Tomorrow. Absolutely tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Bye bye. Sorry about that.
180 sandwiches pre-wrapped, ready for them. That just your customer service, by the way, is spectacular. Just so you know.
I know. That's why we do 150,000 in catering.
100 of it's one person. Settle down.
It's not 80 of it is one person.
Whatever. Still more than half.
Yes, this is our frequent clients of ours.
Good.
This is we did all their Christmas plants. That one week we did the 4 plants each day. We did a different plant.
Yeah.
But time for maybe as soon as next week. Like, whoa.
Thanks for the heads up, bud.
Yeah. And now we're talking, and so we ended up we served everybody off the line.
Oh.
So now, and I was like, oh, yeah, we can do 2 lines, because I figure this is like May, June, where I can plan to have people.
We're really going to throw those 2 new people to the wolves, aren't we?
Yeah. But 370 total people. I think their head plate per head was 28 for Christmas holidays.
Nice.
So yeah, I'll take that. Considering we're starting a week later than last year, so that'll put us $12,000 behind last year's starting. Yeah, that'll help.
14,000 in the hole from the smoker.
Yeah. Still have not heard yet. Should be getting that phone call any day, hopefully.
Josh, great news. Friday, you can come pick it up.
Yeah. I know. Sorry, Cheeseless Crust switched from TikTok over to YouTube.
Oh, hey, Cheeseless.
Gotta catch up on this real quick. Okay. Cheeseless Cedars does cornflakes and Captain Crunch. I think Captain Crunch would probably be pretty good.
It sounds good.
Yeah, a little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
50/50. If they have kitchen experience, they should know that all kitchens operate differently and will be willing to do things your way and not change things.
Yeah, going back to what I was saying about I just don't know what to have them do, because if I'm not there, or if not there, if I'm I'll be on the computer. That's typically when I post for the day, stuff like that's going on. So that's kind of where I was what I was thinking, okay, I need to really write down a list of everything I do in the morning that I would want somebody else to do. And then kind of it can be. Yeah.
I mean, so all your big meats, they're already done.
Correct.
When you show up in the morning.
Yes.
Because you're cooking whatever and holding overnight. So for us, it's different. So yeah, our stuff's done 3:30, 4 o'clock, at least brisket and pork butts.
Yeah.
Our ribs go on at 4:30.
Yeah.
So-
because you're out the door by 10 at the absolute latest.
That would be late.
Absolutely, yeah.
9, yeah, 9 most days.
Do you really give yourself an hour at most places to set up?
That way we don't have to rush.
Okay.
Because typically we aren't cutting brisket until we get on site. We don't cut ribs. Ribs aren't done until about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that's another part of why we show up when we do, is because it kind of coordinates to when things are coming. The next batch is coming off the smoker. So it makes it easy. We don't want to be driving when ribs their time slot is
Exactly.
done.
Yeah.
So, it is all a very well orchestrated ballet every day.
Very much so.
So we probably 5 hours is probably a lot. But Chris is usually on site by 7:30. So if I don't need to have him come in until 8:30 now, that's bonus. So they can start doing stuff that Chris normally does.
Hold on. Why is that bonus? He's paid a salary whether he's there at 7:30 or 8:30.
I understand, but he's also working from 7:30 in the morning until 7:30 at night.
So it's a bonus for him.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just trying to.
And a happier Chris makes a happier everybody.
I understand.
So the less I have to push these other people, to a breaking point, the better.
I understand.
It's about taking care of everybody, not just me.
I completely get it. I was just trying to clarify your
Yes.
your thing.
So yes, it is a bonus to me because that makes for a happier Chris.
Yeah.
A
happy Chris is a happy life.
Yes. And really, and there's a lot of times when he's out of things to do by the time we leave. Because we stop. So normally before last year, we would pull, if we did 4 butts, we'd pull them all in the morning when he got there at 7:30 or 8 o'clock, he'd pull all 4 butts.
Mm-hmm.
We stopped doing that. So now we pull like 2 for lunch, and we'll leave the other 2 not pulled and then pull them later in the day.
Yeah.
Just for a visually appealing
Mm-hmm.
effect. So now Chris is Chris gets to clean. So now we get to mop the floors before we leave every morning, type of thing. So there's stuff to do. And that takes some of the onus off of how much stuff we have to do the night before too.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times if we know we're going to need coleslaw the next day, Chris will make that the night before while we're trying to get, dishes done and meat prep for the smoker and all that stuff. So we try to squeeze that in so there's less to do in the morning. But with this morning prep person, they can handle all that. They can do the onions and peppers prep. They can do the coleslaw if we need it that day.
So you will continue to utilize your current smoker in the way that you have been doing it for the last 5 years you've been open. As far as you're going to load, halfway through your day.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Currently, yeah. I mean, nothing's changing until something changes.
And the new smoker will be mounted?
Nothing's changing until we know other things for sure are happening.
Understand. Okay. And that's fine.
So-
I'm just, I don't know if you've talked to anybody about like how that smoker travels with food in it kind of thing.
I have.
Okay. That's,
Yep. And it should not, since we're not doing the rotisserie, it should not be a problem.
Good.
Should not be a problem.
Okay.
But as of this moment, with the other things we are working on, this building space, there's no sense for me to mount that to the trailer than just to take it off a couple months later and put it into a space.
Sure. Yeah.
So nothing on the trailer will change. We may change the device we're cooking in, which then changes everything else. But the meat prep will go from Chris on the trailer while we're open to me while I'm doing office things during the day. So we'll just kind of shift that around a little bit.
For these people that you're hoping to hire, have you, next week we'll go into training, but do you have lists already made of what like these people need to do during their time frames that they can check?
I'm working on it. Yep.
Stuff like that?
Those are being worked on currently, not only for the early morning prep people, but for everybody else throughout the day.
Sure.
Also working on a cell phone policy, so that we don't have that become.
You're basically going to have an employee handbook here shortly.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And cell phone issues is I'm okay with it. It's those two that butt heads over the cell phones. So we're going to nip it in the bud. It's going to be the same for everybody. And nobody's going to like me. I don't care. So Caleb's girlfriend / fiance, maybe by this time, who knows? They live together. She is diabetic with a couple other severe allergies. He is her emergency contact. So, and he has his Apple Watch. Perfect.
Mhm.
That should be the time that you are on your phone, or when you're on your break. And we're going to set break times for people. Caleb is not one just to go out to his car and hang out for a little while.
I can't wait to see how you're going to build a break room.
They have vehicles. But yeah, I mean, Chris
I'll
goes
go
out
ride with you.
Chris goes out to smoke. Caleb, and which is convenient for smokers because they have that built-in I need to go do this type of thing. Or not need to, but would like to go do this thing. So Caleb will just do it inside the trailer and he'll sit back there while he's running dishwater and hang out on his phone, which I'm fine with as long as everything's getting done, you know. But it bugs Chris because Chris can see the action happening, you know.
Yeah.
Where Caleb's just being lazy and back there on his phone. I said, you spent a half an hour out in your car smoking.
Mhm.
So we'll get that all into the kind of the policies and expectations of everybody. That way everybody's on the same page. Yeah. So yeah, we'll get that through and done. A lot of work to get done in that time. But yeah, excited about having hopefully some new blood coming
Good.
aboard. And got a whole bunch of equipment coming for the trailer. We will be, so the problem with TikTok Live. So the app on your phone, you can't do outside cameras. At least I have not been able to figure out how to do it without a whole bunch of third-party interaction. Even then, it's still your phone. So in order for me to go TikTok Live on the trailer while I'm not there, I would have to log in as me on somebody else's phone, which I am not comfortable with, to do that. And even then that's their phone or a phone device that's very stagnant, very one-dimensional. Versus the TikTok Live Studio, which is used for. Okay, we're gonna have to wrap this up quickly. Just got an email from downtown Grand Rapids. Their Thursday events, they just punched out that it's available for applications. So I'm gonna have to get on top of that quickly. But anyways, so the desktop version, the Live Studio, which they have set up for gaming and stuff like that, which is what we use for the podcast, allows you to have multiple cameras. And I don't have to have a singular device, a mobile device there. So we're getting a mini PC and a monitor. So we'll plug in the two cameras, which is where my other two cameras are currently. They're out on the trailer to be mounted. And all I'll have to do is just hit go live on the screen with a mouse. And we will be live pretty much anytime anybody's in the trailer. We should be TikTok Live. So
Cool.
hopefully regularly. But yeah. And then trying to figure out how to get all that stuff into the trailer without it being in the way or taking up space that we currently use. So yeah, it's we got a busy couple weeks before we are open, but that's that. Skippy, do you have anything? We're 10 minutes over.
We gave the people what the people wanted. So
I don't know that is the case, but
well, you know what we got. Let's roll.
Thank you, everybody that tuned in today. Appreciate it. It was nice to have all your feedback. Great feedback today, everybody. As far as I know, we will be back next week, 9 o'clock, Monday. So same great time, same great stations. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.
2 thumbs up.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, TikTok.
Bye, TikTok.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, Tubi.